On a transatlantic flight, the plane hits a fierce storm. Turbulence rocks the cabin and things get worse when lightning strikes one of the wings. One woman in the front of the plane completely loses it. She jumps to her feet and shouts, "I'm too young to die. I want my last moments on Earth to be unforgettable. I've had plenty of sex, but no one has ever truly made me feel like a woman. Well, that's it. Is there anyone on this plane who can make me feel like a woman?" For a moment, the cabin falls silent. Everyone forgets their own fear and stares at her. Then, from the back of the plane, a man stands. He's tall, broad-shouldered, devastatingly handsome, with long black hair and piercing dark eyes. "I can make you feel like a woman," he says. He starts walking up the aisle slowly, unbuttoning his shirt one button at a time. The passengers watch, transfixed. The woman's breathing grows heavier as he approaches, muscles rippling under his shirt. Finally, he reaches her, pulls off his shirt, hands it to her, and whispers, "Here, iron this." A blonde woman was driving about 2 hours away from San Diego when she was flagged down by a man whose truck had broken down on the side of the road. The man approached her car and asked, "Are you heading to San Diego?" "Sure," she replied. "Do you need a ride?" "Not for me," the man said. "I'll be stuck here for the next 3 hours fixing my truck. But I do have a problem. There are 2 chimpanzees in the back that need to get to the San Diego Zoo. They're already a bit stressed, and I don't want them cooped up in the truck all day. Could you take them for me? I'll pay you $200 for the trouble." "Of course," the blonde said cheerfully. The 2 chimpanzees were helped into the back seat, buckled securely into their seat belts, and off she went toward San Diego. 5 hours later, the truck driver was finally driving through the city when he was shocked to see the blonde walking down the street, hand in hand with the 2 chimps, drawing a large and amused crowd. Slamming on his brakes, he pulled over and rushed to her. "What are you doing here?" he demanded. "I gave you $200 to take those chimpanzees to the zoo." "I did," the blonde replied with a smile. "But we had money left over, so now we're going to SeaWorld." One morning, a nun awoke to the sound of birds singing outside the abbey. With her morning free, she decided to take a walk. She got out of bed, dressed in her habit, slipped on her shoes, and headed down the hallway toward the convent kitchen. She passed another nun. The sister smiled and said, "Looks like someone got up on the wrong side of the bed today." Puzzled, she decided to ignore it and kept walking. Moments later, another nun passed her and said the exact same thing. By the time she reached the end of the hallway, 5 more nuns had made the same comment. Now, thoroughly irritated, she stormed to the Mother Superior's office and flung the door open. Before the head nun could speak, she burst out, "Don't you dare tell me I got up on the wrong side of the bed this morning. That's all I've heard all day, and I'm sick of it." The Mother Superior blinked in surprise, then said calmly, "I wasn't going to say that. I was simply going to ask, why are you wearing the bishop's slippers?" During lunch at work, I foolishly ate 3 plates of beans. I knew I shouldn't have, but they were just too good. When I got home, my husband greeted me at the door, grinning. "Darling, I have a surprise for dinner tonight." Before I could ask, he blindfolded me and led me to my seat at the dining table. I sat down, and just as he was about to remove the blindfold, the phone rang. "Don't touch that blindfold until I get back," he said, hurrying off to answer it. That's when the beans began to do their work. The pressure was unbearable. Alone in the room, I seized the chance, shifted to one side, and let one go. It was loud and smelled like a fertilizer truck had run over a skunk in front of a garbage dump. I grabbed my napkin and frantically fanned the air. Then I shifted to the other side and unleashed 3 more. The stench made cooked cabbage smell like perfume. Keeping an ear on my husband's conversation, I continued releasing silent but deadlies and occasional thunderclaps for several glorious minutes. By the end, I felt light, free, and quite proud of myself. Hearing him wrap up the call, I gave the air one last fan, set the napkin back on my lap, and folded my hands like an angel awaiting dinner. My husband returned, apologizing for the delay. "You didn't peek under the blindfold, did you?" he asked. "Of course not," I replied sweetly. He removed the blindfold. 12 dinner guests sat around the table, hands over their noses in perfect unison, shouting, "Happy birthday!"